as I'm watching this movie, I begin to think, why do I own this movie? I mean, there has to be a reason why I would pick this one up. I've never had a single inclination to see this movie in the past. Why would I pick? There has to be a reason. Oh, yes. That would be why. Ah, be still my beating heart. Date Night, released in 2010 and is directed by Shawn Levy, who is behind the Night of the Museum trilogy, Real Steel, The Internship, and Pink Panther. I did not say Demberger. I said I wanted to buy a Demberger. I wanted to buy a Demberger! The film stars Steve Carell, Tina Fey, Taraji P. Henson, Common, Jimmy Simpson, Kristen Wiig, Mark Ruffalo, Mila Kunis, and James Franco. Fey and Carell play a married couple who are stuck in a rut of a boring routine. They get up, they send the kids off to school, they go to work, and come home and crash. And every weekend they have a date night where they go to the same restaurant and eat the same food. But one date night they decide to be spontaneous and they go to the city to eat at a fancy restaurant. With no dinner reservations, may I add. And with no dinner reservation, they decide to steal the Triple Horns reservation. But what they don't realize is that the Triple Horns are supposed to make a big drop tonight at the restaurant with the local mob. So there are a bunch of mistaken identity and wild shenanigans that follow. First thing, right off the bat, the opening of this film just reinforces why my wife and I decided that we are never having kids. The first scene is these two kids trying to get their parents up by punching them in the crotch and basically throwing their entire bodies on them. No, thank you. I mean, I'm already annoyed when my girl Kitty wakes me up every morning at 6 o'clock saying, why isn't there food in my bowl? Meow! 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 It's breakfast time, Dad! Meow! Where's my food? Meow! Just picture that just turned up to 11. I don't think so. Now, I'm not saying that kids are terrible. If you have kids, that's fantastic. Great. Amazing for you. I'm sure you find a ton of joy in having them. But just from an outsider who doesn't have kids looking in, that ain't for me. And it's not for my wife either. We've talked about it. I can just picture the comments and I can see the faces of the viewers right now thinking that I made the decision for my wife that no, we are not having kids. Sorry to disappoint you, but that was a decision that we both made through communication. But anyway, back to the movie. So this film is basically your standard romantic comedy date night film. Steve Carell and Tina Fey are definitely the standouts here, and they're both hilarious. They both have moments of dry, witty humor, and then they have moments of slapstick humor. And there are points in this film where you can tell that the feelings and the relationship between Steve Carell and Tina Fey is very real and very raw. This is actually a major problem in a lot of couples. Many couples get married and they've been together for a good 30, 40 years, and they don't try to go out and do anything different. They just stay to what's comfortable and what works for them. But you can tell this couple really, really loves each other, and they want to try to stay together, and they don't want to fall victim to the, after so many years, we're probably going to end up divorced because everything is boring cliche. And I love that this film explores that. But if you take that aspect away from this film, really what you got here is your standard romantic comedy picture. The only difference is that this couple is already in love, and now they are just getting into wild shenanigans all across town. Mistaken identity, vehicles not working correctly, slapsticky stuff. It actually kind of falls victim to what this film is trying to fight against. But getting into the technical aspect of this film, no one in this film is terrible. Steve Carell and Tina Fey are hilarious as usual. Taraji P. Henson is great. Jimmy Simpson, I think, is one of those hilarious actors working today, so I'm always happy when he pops up somewhere. You get cameos from Kristen Wiig, Mark Ruffalo, James Franco, Mila Kunis. It's all great to see. But just trying to review and to speak about this film to you, there's just this kind of meh vibe about it. There's nothing really innovative. There's nothing really spontaneous. It's just your standard, typical romantic comedy where you take two hilarious people and you put them together and you see what happens. This film isn't terrible by any means. It just wasn't anything special. Plus, I think the script doesn't follow through with a lot of its storylines. And I'm not going to spoil any of them for you. I do recommend you checking this out, maybe once in a while if there's nothing else on to pop this one in. But there is a storyline in here where the couple wandering around the city, they're worried, oh my god, the mob's gonna go after our family. So they call their house and they get the babysitter, who is Blair from Gossip Girl, by the way. There's your first problem right there. You don't let Blair from Gossip Girl watch over your kids. She'll probably just sell them off for a fancy dress. Anyway, that's your decision. But they are so worried that they tell Blair, I'm just gonna refer to her as Blair because I didn't really catch her name and I don't really care to. So they tell Blair, take the kids, take them next door to your place and just watch over them there. And then, you know, more chaos ensues and then the couple, it's a romantic comedy. They're gonna end up well in the end. They come home and then they kiss and then they go into the house and then the film ends. And I'm just thinking, what? Did you have kids, don't you? What about the kids' storyline? It's just little details like that was just left out. Again, adding nothing special to this film at all. So to kind of make this nice and short, in the end, date night, it was fine. The performances are fine. They're good. They're average. They're funny in places, and then you can also tell when they're trying to be funny and they're not. But the majority of the time, there's a little chuckle coming out of me. I love the chemistry and the relationship between Steve Carell and Tina Fey. They work well with each other. And then all the cameos from all these great other comedian actors was great to see. I just think it's fascinating that this film's underlying message was to be spontaneous, to be adventurous, to take chances. And in doing so, they made a film that was basically another cookie cutter, your standard date night romantic comedy picture. I am also going to say that this film's other underlying message is that couples are way happier without kids. By the time they get home at the end of the movie, they're kissing, they're loving on each other, and they're very, very happy, and they don't give a shit about where the kids are or how they're doing. Now that said, kids are great. I'm not downing kids. It's just, this is what this film is telling you. So I'm going to give Date Night 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm watching next. Let's take a look. Ooh, a classic comedy. Dr. Strangelove. I cannot for the life of me remember the main actor's name in this film. That's gonna bother me. There are probably some film buffs out there right now going like, what, you don't know? You ain't a credible movie reviewer now! Just go easy on me and I'll have it for next time. I have only seen this movie once before. I actually own this one on digital. I don't own it on a DVD or Blu-ray. But I do remember watching this in college for a film studies class. But I've only seen half of it because I think I was sick on the day that the professor played it for the first time. So I only caught the ending. I have no idea how it starts. I do know that the main actor though plays 3 different parts, which I always love to see in a film. So I'm excited to watch the full thing for the very first time. And we'll talk about it next time. So everyone, have you seen Date Night? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. And make sure you stay tuned for my Journey to Episode 100 and Beyond series, where from episode 71 to 100, I'm going to be going over a 30 movies a day listing. All of these will be released leading up to episode 100, so please stay tuned for that. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Dr. Strangelove. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.